With the Advocate, you mentioned being a little rough around the edges. What were your main takeaways though from tonight?
I thought it was really what we needed. A week ago we weren't sure because we had the entire team had gotten into COVID quarantine protocol coming out of I don't even remember the day that it happened. Tuesday a week ago, and we really weren't sure. It was based on contact tracing, and our training got interrupted, and then we were able to do some limited training with small groups, and not have the whole team together. We didn't get the whole team together again until yesterday, and there was probably a little less than a week ago. I wasn't sure if we were going to continue to go forward with this, so I thought it was, really what we needed. They needed to get in here. They needed to feel this space and get in the bigness of the arena, feel what that's going to feel like, get a few fans in front of them that they could perform for and engage with and kind of get a little bit of a sense of normalcy. We had about 500 people in here, which I thought was awesome, which was, it was only open to our booster club. So it was, so grateful and so appreciative of those people coming out and giving these kids a little shot in the arm. Obviously we weren't perfect, and you're not going to be in December anyway. This is kind of like a spring game in a lot of ways. It's a little bit of a dress rehearsal. And in a perfect world, if you had a normal fall without a 5.5-month layoff going into it, you'd probably be 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks ahead of where we are right now. We're right on the cusp of being ready. You're not quite ready yet. And I think that's good. I mean, it takes a lot of guts for these kids to come out here preseason like this. I'm not sure there's a lot of programs that, that would be willing to take that risk in the environment that we're in, but I'm glad we did it because I think it will show, it'll create some growth for us. And it's a little bit of a reality check, but nonetheless a very positive experience. We didn't really fall much. We had a couple of kids that fell, one on beam, one on floor, one on bars, and we did more than a full lineup on every event. So if you look at it from that perspective, the potential was there to hit every routine we did, but still be a little rough around the edges and score a 196 something. My guess is that would have been the range that we would have fallen in. So I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. I think this team is talented. This team is deep. This team's got great character. All the ingredients that you want. We've got good leadership from our seniors, and I felt like it was a good, successful evening. Perfect, no, but good and successful, yes.
As I understand it, y'all are really excited about the freshmen that you've brought in this year. What did you think about their performance tonight?
They were scared. You should have seen them in warmups. They were nervous. And some of them are very experienced at the elite and the junior Olympic level, and they've got a ton of experience. But until you march out into a big arena like this and you're doing it for a team, it's a totally different animal in terms of their mental approach and the way that they have to go about things. So they did a great job preparing for this thing, and then they walked in here a little bit of deer in the headlights and got nervous and got tentative in some spots. And but some of that's to be expected. You certainly don't want it, but when you've done this thing long enough, you realize that those things are going to be part of the gig.
Were there any individual gymnasts who really stood out to you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of spots that I thought great thing. I was very proud of. I mean, Kaya Johnson was put on a completely different training schedule than everyone else in order to preserve her health a little bit. Coming out of last year, we had to compete her every single meet, and so we really didn't even start tumbling her much until second week of November, and she came in and just knocked it out of the park tonight. Did phenomenal. As we've all come to expect. I thought the entire freshman class did a good job with what they did. I really didn't see anything that I saw things that we don't see in practice, but I saw exactly what you would expect from freshmen when they're first experiencing here. And I thought they did a good job. I was impressed with the grit and the guts of Elena Arenas, and the fight that she showed. She had a rough warm up on bars, and was able to come back and hit a routine. And I thought Olivia Dunn showed some fight just because she was begging me to do everything tonight, even though she had only trained for a couple of days, and right up till the end, we weren't going to do a dance for her. She's like, well, can I at least do a dance? Can I at least show my dance? Can I, she just wants to get it going again. And she was in a really good place in the middle of the fall. I thought all the seniors really did a good job as a whole. We didn't have Reagan Campbell out there tonight, and that's 2 9-9 scores that we've all grown accustomed to seeing on beam and floor. But what we did have was, strong performances from Bridget Dean on 2 events, and she'll get going on bars again soon, hopefully. Strong performance on floor from Olivia Gunner. That the double Arabian that she did is maybe the best one she's ever done on the hard floor like this in competition kind of environment. I thought that Christina did a great job, as always, leading us off on beam. I thought that I'm trying to think who else was in that senior class. Sammy had a screw taken out of her knee the day before we left for Thanksgiving, a screw and a staple, and started dismounting bars and beam 2 days ago and wanted to go, and we got the clearance to do it, and she just looked like she never missed a beat. So she'll be back on vault and floor for us too in the next coming weeks. The problem, not a problem, but the issue is that we're kind of done. We've got one more practice before they go home for Christmas. And, you'd like to have another week after this thing to kind of iron out some wrinkles and that kind of thing. So we've got to get them home and let them get some rest. And that's needed as well. But they've got to be disciplined in what they do when they're gone. And we've got to show up ready to go and get some of those wrinkles ironed out, because you really get 6 or 7 workouts in before you compete on January 8th.
Gotcha. Well, just 2 quick things I wanted to make sure. This was y'all's first time back in this building since the pandemic hit. Is that right?
It is.
It'll first time. Last time you've been here until that first meet on the 8th.
Say that again.
You won't come back in here before that first meet on the 8th.
This is the one opportunity we get annually to practice in the arena that we compete in, and it can be a daunting thing. We didn't used to do this. We used to do 101 in the gym. The first year I was here, that was the way it was done. And it just felt like we needed to move it over here for 2 reasons. One, we want our team to be prepared when we start the season. And this experience tonight will do a lot to get them prepared. And then 2, it gives our fans, in a normal year, we'd have 3,000 people in here coming in here to watch a practice. And it gives our fans that may not always be able to get season tickets, or they may not, be able to be part of the Booster Club or whatever. It gives people an opportunity to come in here and kind of get a sneak peek at what's going on and how we're going to look. And that's normally the purpose too. It's kind of a cross purpose thing. It's our opportunity to get in the arena and kind of go through a dress rehearsal, but it also gets us in front of our fans in a large number and allows us to market and promote as the season gets closer. And so, this year, that standpoint, it's a little bit different, but yeah, this is it. This is the last time we'll be in here until January 8th against Arkansas.
Gotcha. Well, Jake, thank you for your time tonight, and happy holidays.
All right, man. I appreciate the coverage. Thanks for coming.